Hi guys, Legendary Basil Games here. So, today I am going to explain the behavior of Uchiha Itachi, what his mental health diagnosis possibly could be, because I have a theory on what it could possibly be. So, I believe that he has PTSD. I think I mentioned this in a couple other videos too, as well. In the video about his little brother, because his little brother also has it, but the way Itachi has it, the way it manifests is a little bit more, I guess, not really that much different, except that Itachi has this illness that eventually takes his life. But the point is that I'm trying to make is that he has a lot more than just PTSD, man. He has a big, long diagnosis, so let's just jump right into the diagnosis. So, I believe he has what is called schizophrenia, which typically people with schizophrenia are not violent, but they're also very prone to violence because of the symptoms that they have, and sometimes they abuse drugs, alcohol, legal ones, illegal ones, which I'm not going to discuss what they are because I've discussed what they could possibly be in other videos as well. But I just want to bring this to everybody's attention that I think that Itachi Uchiha has schizophrenia. So the signs that he would be having would be he would be hearing things that aren't there, such as a person would be hearing voices or sounds that aren't there, which are called auditory hallucinations, are most common type. Sight and a form of visual hallucinations, the person sees something that isn't really there. Visual hallucinations. Maybe visions or signs to the individual with schizophrenia, which they would attach great meaning or significance, which basically they would see like a road sign that is an example of what schizophrenia does, or they would see people that are not there as well, or objects. Basically they would see pretty much anything that isn't there, and they would be able to see right through that object because it's not there. It's a visual hallucination. Basically, imagine in a movie film where they're showing like someone is seeing something that isn't there, or like an effect in the movie that isn't really there or something. And we are aware that the Sharingan can see chakra in different colors, which, as Sasuke states, that he can see the chakra around Deidara. The fact that it is a different color to him, and sometimes he sees it as like sometimes multiple colors even. But the way that Itachi would see that, he would also be able to see it in different people as well, which basically what the Sharingan actually does is what Tobigurama kind of halfway explains this, is that it makes people hate other people, like the Uchiha hate people because they were hurt, but it also makes them see things that aren't there. It makes them more aggressive as well, because we've seen this in lots of displays within the show, the books, the manga, that Madara was one such example, a historical figure that he could see things within people that other people could not see. And he used to see right through people sometimes. And he was what I believe is a very advanced form of mental illness, which is like antisocial personality disorder, which is basically where they start, they take out other people. they take their lives, basically. Basically, that's where you become a mass destroyer. So basically, another thing that people with schizophrenia would also have are smell in the form of olfactory or olfactory. I don't know how to pronounce that word, but anyway, they would have smell hallucinations where the person smells odors, usually bad ones, the rotting organic matter that no one else is able to smell. Sometimes, like, they'll, like, smell something that another person does not smell, and that kind of freaks people out sometimes when they are able to do that. But that's one of the things that they're capable of. Touch in the form of tactile hallucinations, which, oh, that's a creepy one all by itself. Just merely think about it is enough to give me the chills. A person feels the presence or touch of someone or something which, when no one is present, people with both mental illness and substance abuse disorders feel like bugs crawling all over the body, sometimes the result of using crack cocaine, which is, yeah, that's bad. That's bad news. So that would be one of the things that they would have. They would be also very delusional. They would have delusion of grandeur, basically thinking that they're better than everybody else, and they would basically like try to point out how much better they are than everybody else, which sometimes that's a result of bipolar being a thing also, which is basically where a person would be acting all high and mighty and thinking that they're better than everybody else. And basically they accept that that is true and their behavior is true and the way that they feel is true. And they have odd beliefs as well. Sometimes, basically, it would be where delusions take a form of a belief that some individual or group is after the person with schizophrenia or wants to harm or control him. Delusions are often accompanied by feelings of suspiciousness, which are then referred to as paranoid delusions, which that is also the result of PTSD. I'm also going to briefly bring this up as well, that he most likely has some form of PTSD because, let's just be honest, it's a cruel world out there. And the way that he experiences his trauma, his paranoia probably would sometimes most certainly be warranted, just because he's almost always is in a dangerous situation, being involved with a criminal group called the Akatsuki and doing dangerous missions and stuff. So yeah, he's probably not all there in the brain department because he's doing stupid stuff. Disorganized thinking, which that would be less traumatic, but just as damaging to a person's disability or ability to function in reality. Another positive symptom of disorganized thinking, which can affect speech, writing, instead of being able to hold an organized and logical conversation, thinking about one topic or one issue in a proper sequence. People with schizophrenia may jump from one topic to another, make up words that don't exist. These words are known as neologisms. That's a really weird word, and I don't really know how to pronounce that, but sometimes somebody will say a word that doesn't exist because they made it up. Sometimes that's a form of schizophrenia, a part of schizophrenia, most likely. But often these people that can do that are actually very creative in their mindset, and they can create like pieces of artwork that aren't there, like some artwork that artists will like create, like skateboard artwork and stuff, which That's probably what Itachi would be into. I honestly see him as being like a skateboarder, probably. Most likely, just because of his body type and the stuff that he's into, and probably being into either the rock and roll movement or the rap movement, pop movement, whatever. But that's just my own personal theory. As to what his behaviors would actually look like if he actually did exhibit signs of that in the show, which he doesn't, but anyway, he does dress in all black, which sometimes people that are into the rock and roll movement, particularly the gothic movement, sometimes will dress in all black costumes and stuff, black makeup, black earrings, black everything. Basically they want to make themselves appear to look very strong, but they also want to be accepted as the person that they actually legitimately are. And they want to be accepted as this person that is very artistic, but also has their own set of challenges, which he most certainly does have his own set of challenges, so we'll just address that later in the video. But basically, he would have substance abuse disorder, which that is another thing that he probably possesses, which we already talked about that. So, I think at least. So, probably, I said I wasn't going to get into that. But anyway, his attitude would most likely go up and down. Basically, he would have mood swings constantly. So he would most likely get very angry and then get very sad as well, as a form of coping with the schizophrenia and most likely the physical illness that he has, whatever it might be, which to me it looks like some kind of form of like heart disease or like autoimmune disorder, which I have both of those, so I should know. But anyway, that would also be another thing that he does to cope with it, which would be to like cover up the fact that he is in a lot of physical agony, which people with schizophrenia, because they use some substances and stuff, well, not all of them, but sometimes, but some of them have very, very bad physical defects, which heart disease, autoimmune disorders, there's just a lot of stuff that goes into that. But as far as like my theory as to what he probably is, like in this small little mini theory within a theory, is that maybe he's not as evil as he looks. Maybe it just looks like he does bad stuff, which he did do bad stuff, but let's just be honest. He was in the freaking military, man. Stuff happens in the military. And that is why he's in this group, is basically to keep an eye on other criminals, which that's an authoritarian position that he's in as well. And the way that he dresses also is reminiscent to the Gothic style, which sometimes people that are all in black clothing invoke a sense of authority, which I didn't learn this until like way later in my life, but the reason they wear that kind of clothing is to show that they have at least some form of authority, especially in the way that they wear it. So anyway, what I'm saying is that he probably also has depression as well, which those symptoms are, and I'll refer to this again in the video, apathy, inability to concentrate, sense of hopelessness, insomnia or oversleeping, a lack of interest in other people or activities, profound sadness, suicidal thoughts or actions, feelings of worthlessness, and he probably has some form of, no, because that would not be a thing. That wouldn't even be an option. He wouldn't even be schizoid. He would be full-on schizophrenic. So, most likely he would have anxiety because of the schizophrenia, because sometimes those people with schizophrenia, they possess anxiety as well. And him being isolated a lot probably does not help the fact that he experiences these things, which he would have agoraphobia, which is basically where you can't go far from your home. Because he has to take medicine to keep himself alive, as well as social anxiety because, well, let's just face it, he's a criminal. So he probably don't want to go too far from his place of residence anyway, which is the Akatsuki's hideouts. So basically, they basically protect him from, well, at least they like to put it out there that they protect their people within their organization. But we all know they ain't protective. Like, they can be, but they can also be the exact opposite and then want to take out their own members. So, that's the way it goes sometimes. OCD, which is where you would have obsessive rituals, such as cleaning your hands excessively because of germophobia, basically where you would scrub your hands excessively, and sometimes you would have open sores on your hands from that need to wash your hands after dealing with a messy situation, which there's another form of that, which is where you turn off the stove sometimes and you keep trying to check whether it's on or not. I don't know. Like, I don't have that problem, so I'm just gonna ignore that one entirely. But anyway, that would be another symptom that he would probably have, which is panic disorder. He would probably have that too. Sometimes people like him would also experience panic attacks, which basically that would feel like you're dying, losing your mind, going crazy, and that's how you would receive that diagnosis, because if that happens to you, then most likely you get labeled with that. So yeah, it's warranted for him, probably. Anyway, because he's a criminal and he probably would panic, most likely. And because he has that physical disability, which I mentioned before, but that would most likely trigger the panic attacks that he probably has, which that would most likely be present. Social phobia, that'd be another thing. So anyway, paranoia, which that's basically where you don't trust anybody, and I would know because I have it. But anyway, as far as that goes, if you guys like this video, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications bell, to stay updated on all my videos. I upload as much as I possibly can, but because I have a disability, it's kind of hard to upload my videos sometimes because of the massive gaps in time sometimes. So anyway, don't forget to comment and let me know what you guys think of the video. Bye-bye!